Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. Well, I did it again. I went ahead and started the read and I forgot to put it on airplane mode, and before you know it, potential spam decided to give me a jingle and interrupted my video. So now I got to catch you up on what has been going on here. So we're just going to burn a little of this. I was probably getting a little too wound up about it anyway. Excuse me. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope the day is treating you kindly, no matter what time of day it is that you come across this video. It is October 27th, 2025. And as I mentioned, I've already got some cards out here. So let's catch you up on the story. What's happening? Well, what we have here is we've got a disconnect. Somebody's been disconnected from your energy, from your light. They have been disconnected from your services. You're no longer servicing them. We've got, there's no holding back of the secrets that you have learned. You're out here speaking about your testimony. You are confessing everything that you have discovered. And I don't know about you, but my mission statement throughout life seemed to be learn as much as you can, about as much as you can. And I'm thinking that that was my mission. So anyway, in the challenge position, we have the Chariot. So you're not holding back any secrets. You got some folks here that they've been disconnected from your light and your services. You are in your Chariot, you're moving forward. That's challenging to them. You are expected to take this seat. Somebody is there holding this seat, this position for you. You're expected there. We've got unfinished business here. There's still things to resolve and discuss regarding those who broke their promises, those who betrayed humanity, or a portion of it, which could be you. Please take it as it resonates. In the subconscious, we've got the Lovers. So you who are here in service to everybody except those who have been, tried to unalive you and stuff, steal your light, your position, your life, your title, your personality, your identity, your wealth. So you are here with your kingdom spouse. This is probably in the astral, and you are dealing with this player whose values are too different from yours. They're all about money and their cup is empty. You're making certain that this player doesn't take any damn thing from you. They're disconnected from your light, your life, and your vitality. That's all going to a new family in this chapter. That's one of the things that the Divine Mother stated. She said, you're getting a new family. Please remember that this is a collective read. It's not going to be for everybody. So just remember that. If it doesn't fit for you, don't take it. Don't take it on. Because I don't want to be the cause of anybody having, a bad day or something. That's not my intention here. In the recent past, we've got the Four of Swords. So there is a retreat, a renewal, a recovery, a planning for the future. Something's been laid to rest. They did not take your things. They didn't get your things. They really tried. They're in disagreement about this and think that you should, give a little of what they couldn't steal. They made your life very, very hard. You are the rarest diamond in the world and the biggest one. And they thought that they had you in the bag. They had you buried in the backyard. Oh yeah, you were never going to get out of that dark space, but you did, and you're shining brightly. And you're not just a diamond in the rough. You're all clean and shiny and pink. You're that beautiful pink diamond, the big, big one in the world. And they made life real, real hard for you. We have a Page of Swords here. He's got some restless mental energy, and it could be because he didn't get your things, or he wasn't able to get any things. He could have some mental restless energy due to the Ouija board, the spirits that he's been calling forth with that. Now, I could read this two different ways. You could say that he's having restless mental energy regarding those Ouija board spirits that he's been working in. It could very well be that they love him and they're not going to let him go. He can't separate himself. He's unable to escape. Or it could be that he's upset and just spinning in his head. He could be getting mentally haunted by those spirits that he's been playing with, because he wasn't able to separate you from your love here, the strength of two together. Therefore, he's not able to use you and your wealth and your life path as an escape route. Take it as it resonates. In the near future, we have the Knight of Pentacles. You are working hard day and night, 24/7, and this has been going on every single day, all day, for a long, 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 long time. You've been working very, very seriously here, defending your destiny and your life path. You're not giving it up. God said this path was yours, and you're not giving it up. And somebody's grieving. They did not see this coming. That did not end the way that they thought it was going to end. They're upset. Now, the other day, I heard the curator say that, number one, he needs a relationship because he has been trapped in a loop, which is good news for humanity because he's been selling them off as slaves. So he's been trapped in a loop, and he said he needs a relationship. So what we've got here is we've got a Knight of Cups coming forward, trying to play Prince Charming and offer a love cup to somebody who survived his malicious reflection, his copycat program or whatever that he has going on. So you survived this, and now he wants to come in, or this is what it looks like to me. He's coming in and he wants to reattach himself to a survivor of his brutality, and he wants to try it again. But number one, the divine feminine, the mother, has been given the rainbow covenant with God, and she has also been given dominion over the planet. She's a dignitary, she's a magistrate, or this is part of this very, very close. This is serious. So this curator who has been buying and selling humanity, who's been accustomed to owning the planet and everything on it because he stole the covenant last time and then tried to convince everybody that she was a terrorist. He wants to gain another connection here so that he can then reclaim those services and gifts and all of that energy and the ability to snake hurt people. God has stated that this is the end of their relationship with batteries. But you know what we got here is we've got distant. So Prince Charming wants to come in and reconnect to you because you're the star with the services. He's gotten disconnected from your light, from your supercharging, eternal youth energy. And you survived the low-life copycat bullcrap. And so he wants to come in and offer a proposal because he needs to reattach to you. He's stuck in a loop and he needs to get out of it, and he wants what you have. So, but we've got distant here. So it could be that he is at a distance, so far away, or it could be that you are distant emotionally. Like you don't want to have anything to do with what this little fella is trying to come in and get going with you. You got the Emperor here. The Emperor, I feel, is your person. And I say your person because there's a female on this card and you're the mother figure, right? And you got all these secrets that you've learned about while you were here, receiving brutality from these people. And you're not holding them back, you're telling them. So the Emperor is here, and it looks like he's dealing with these teachers, some people who possibly taught these ones how to abuse you like that. Or maybe this Emperor is taking this knowledge, that these secrets that you were able to discover during this whole thing, and he's using it. He could be shutting down time, like cutting them off. It's too late for these ones to do anything about what he's got. He's got the information. He knows what they've been doing, and everything is crumbling. Like everything that they built on your light, on your life, is crumbling. He knows what's going on. He's done the research, and he's got the information. So in the hopes and fears section, we've got panic and we've got slow down. And I heard this curator say the other day that things were slowing down. And you know how in the Bible it says that, in the end times, God is going to speed up time so that the suffering doesn't last too long? Well, now there seems to be some kind of a panic because everything's slowing down. According to this curator, who has just confessed that he needs a relationship because he's been caught in a trap, in a loop. So we've got this snake who's in a panic due to everything slowing down, right? And they're reminiscing about the good times, about how fun it was to hurt you. And he's remembering, all of this stuff that he once held control over. And remember, this has been going on for centuries. This brutality of the mother who he stole the identity of. He was never supposed to be in this position. He's not qualified. He can't hold the energy that is required in a balanced way to manage this beautiful gift. All they can do is steal the energy from others and destroy their lives. So he's reminiscing about the inside jokes, how great it was to hurt you. And we've got fierce in the reverse. It's like he can't protect himself. He's unable to protect himself. He doesn't want to be fierce now. He doesn't want to receive the ferocity. We've got the Two of Pentacles here. So there's a lot of decisions being made regarding the home. And the home would be the planet, Earth, Mother Earth. And we're not going to have any more of this competition, any more of this lustful infidelity, going and stealing husbands and stealing wives and destroying the foundation for the children of the future. We're going to have to be responsible and take care of that stuff. So there's a lot of decisions being made in that regard right now, because the third parties made things very, very difficult for families. And then plus all this technology and this forbidden mental magic and all of that, they made it a very, very rough road. So they just can't be present. And if I were a mother, I would say, I don't want you anywhere around. I would not want them here even after the 7 generations. I seriously wouldn't, because I would not wish that on any of my future relations. This thing that we have just come through, this total attempt to destroy families, generational wealth, family trees, unity, love, honor, and respect. You're tired, and you deserve a break from this. It's just a bunch of malarkey. They're having anxiety because they've lost. They thought that they gave you an impossible path, Divine Feminine and Emperor. They had you both buried deep. You went deeper than they thought you went. You went so deep, it was supposed to be impossible for you to come back up out of this. Yet here you are, and you're laying to bed. These players who have been siphoning the energy and the wealth out of families forever. And they thought that they were going to do it forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. But you're putting an ending to these temptations by the snake. So that sounds to me like it's a forever thing. You're going to get eternal love, and 14 generations from now won't have to worry about this again. because you know what's happening. The emperor has all of the academics. He learned it all. You know what? And there's many of us, suns and stars, and we've all had unique experiences, unique traumas, unique tragedies, and great, great, great challenges that were near impossible. And he's got all that information that he can now plan. How is this new foundation going to go, right? God, how are we going to do this, right? So you got it all. So these last two cards, it's ending with the temptation of the snake. These childish people who were guilty about trying to mess with you, they were guilty of trying to get you tangled up into this web of this deceit, this lie, this falsehood. These childish people are tangled up in it themselves because they're the ones who created it. Those are their seeds. This is what their intentions were, and God said that their intentions shall be their gift. So you're not going to be living in that, whatever that garden is that they were trying to grow. They're crushed and hurting emotionally. They got caught up in a whole bunch of crazy drama, and they did not see this coming. They've got a long, long road with all of these flames that they put into the dark side. They got to go face them. Burned. Exit plan. They want an exit plan. I mean, it's the same, pretty much, but it's just like, you know, it's similar, and yet it's a progression, right? Every day we kind of get a little further into, I guess, finality. So whoa, well, that just popped right out of there, didn't it? So those who don't have any light in them, those who are not their own supply, those succubuses, incubuses, you know, vampiric people who have to unalive others in order to harvest that energy and then pretend that they're alive or whatever. Those who don't have any light in them are getting disconnected from your services. And you're not holding back any of the secrets that you have discovered about them. And there's a divorce here. Absolutely, you're divorcing them out of the energy. They're being disconnected from your services. You're not holding back with any of the secrets that you've discovered, and they're getting divorced out of this territory. You're in your chariot, you're moving forward, and you're expected to take a seat. You've got unfinished business with those who did not keep their promises. They broke every agreement, every treaty, every contract. But apparently they can't break the one with the snake here. So there's unfinished business. They did not keep their promises. They betrayed God. They were supposed to protect and lead and guide families. They were supposed to protect the women and the children, and instead they became their most vicious brutalizer. They didn't care one bit. They thought that they had broken all of the bridges and that God would never find out about this slick trick, this illusion with their magic and their technology. Yep, they didn't think that he'd ever find out. They didn't think that he'd ever find out about all of these people gaining contracts with Divine Feminine, or otherwise, take it as it resonates, and then breaking that promise. And then going around and effing around, making everybody's freaking life hard with this third-party enemy stuff. Yeah, we're not doing that anymore. God found out about it. He's not happy. He's not happy with this. What happened to the lives of the children who then became adults? Generations in a row. We got a problem. And, you know, the sad thing is you've got them out there, you know, haughtily, you know, projecting the inability to be responsible because you're a mere woman. And if that's their attitude towards women, then why would she think it's so great to be there? I don't know. It's got a strange twisting. So anyway, you're here. The strength of two together are dealing with this player. Your values are too different. They just want money. And you're making sure that their cup is empty. They're getting divorced out of your energy. They're getting divorced out of your services. Yeah, their cup is empty because we're in the honeymoon phase of the new chapter. So you're making sure that this player whose values are all about money has an empty cup. Their cup remains empty. We're coming into this new chapter, and you're married. You're gonna get married. There could be a marriage in this new chapter. You got to make sure that this player, this snake, doesn't take your wealth, because you have a huge family tree to make for like the next 28, 48, 100 and however many generations, forever, of your beautiful bloodline that they weren't able to exterminate, although they thought they had. That just goes to show you how responsible they are. They can't even exterminate a bloodline properly. I mean, they really thought that you were gone. You've been down there suffering, Emperor, and your person here for centuries. They thought you were gone. They didn't think you were ever coming back. They thought you were on the impossible path. You would never come back out of it. But look at you. Look at you. Nobody can carry the weight of your responsibilities. This snake certainly can't. They can't come up out of that impossible life path. They can't suffer like you did and then come out loving and shining and responsible and still wanting to have this beautiful family and community. I mean, you're still this beautiful son and daughter of the Most High Divine. You didn't turn into a snake. Regardless of how many centuries you were down there having your life siphoned, suffering, carrying such great weight, being traumatized, you're still loving. You're not a terrorist. They are. Gold digger. They're a freaking gold digger, and they've been unaliving people and then burying them, transferring their sin and the blame for all of their evil deeds onto the people that they have made suffer with that, and then they deceitfully convict them of doing those deeds. So not only do they have to suffer for lifetimes, they get convicted of them, and they probably don't even have any idea that this has been happening. But it's known now. This Page of Swords is having restless mental energy. They could be haunted by those spirits there because they were not able to separate you from your love, from your protection. They're not able to escape. They want to communicate. Maybe they can't escape what people are saying. They want to compromise, work it out. They didn't get anything with all this brutality, all this mean man stuff. You got the Knight of Pentacles here, working real hard on a routine, very efficient and effective defense of your destiny. You're like, I'm not giving it up. I mean, when you have survived the impossible path, it's like, excuse me. I mean, when you have paid such a heavy price for life, you know, it's like you come to a point where your own life is worth fighting for. It's worth defending, you know. And this last cycle, they tried to twist everybody's mind into a status of self-loathing, you know. But when you're hurting so badly, there comes a time when you realize that as terrible as they make it, breath is precious. Walking among the trees is precious. So they're grieving because it didn't work out the way they had imagined. They figured that you would just crush. You would just be crushed and you would never, ever, ever come out because they didn't think that, they didn't know anything about love. And you're not dealing with them anymore. They're not part of your destiny. They're not coming on this path with you. They're grieving. It didn't work out the way they had planned. They wanted to brutalize you for eternity. They wanted to brutalize you. That was their plan. To completely separate you from love and anything that was loving, that could have potentially given you love, and just crush you. Have God himself crush you as a terrorist, like they wanted to frame you as. They wanted God, your own father that you've been praying to, but your crown was blocked and he couldn't hear you because you had some other copycat out there wearing your memories, doing shitty things as you. They wanted your own father that you were praying to crush you. And they wanted to laugh about it. And it could have happened last cycle. I don't know. Take it as it resonates. So now we've got a Knight of Cups coming in with a proposal. He's coming right up to these ones who survived, the reflection, the copycat. This could very well be the curator. Just take it as it resonates. I would suggest caution. It could be the Emperor and his person coming together, but it could also be this curator because he's stuck in a loop. He's stuck there. He needs a relationship so that he can hop on board somebody else's destiny. And he wants to get on this woman's destiny because she has dominion and wealth and a covenant with God. He wants to steal it again, like he did last summer. Narcissist is a liar. Narcissist is a liar. Yeah, so this dude right here coming in with a proposal, this is that curator. He's a narcissistic liar. He's a narcissistic liar reflection that you survived. And now you're here sharing the secrets about him, and he's been caught in a trap. He's stuck in a loop, and he needs a relationship with somebody who has a great authority and a great light that he can then command and, take charge of everything again and just brutalize you with your own energy, should you get out of line. Boy, he must have liked that last time. Brutalizing you with your own energy and brutalizing everybody that you love with your own energy while wearing your face. Narcissistic liar. Yeah, anybody coming forward with a proposal right now, keep your distance because they are a narcissistic liar. We've got the Emperor right here. He knows all he needs to know. He's got the research of every sun and every star that ever suffered through this atrocity, who still kept their light on and didn't get wacky with any of these contracts. Yeah, he knows all about it. And he knows all about the ones who did get a contract. I don't know what he's doing with that. I don't know. But he's got all this academics now. He knows he's got all their books, all their secrets right there. There's no holding back any secrets. They're getting divorced. We've got time. It's too late for them to take any action. Everything they built on the energy of others and their suffering is crumbling. It's all crumbling. They can't do anything about it. It's all crumbling. Whoa. Well, we got, I'll just take the top one. We've got cycles. So this cycle is over and a new one is beginning. Their stuff is crumbling. This is a lying narcissist who is panicking because everything's starting to slow down. That means God's pretty much done. He's just wrapping things up. We've got this snake here who is reminiscing about the inside jokes, and we've got fierce and aggressive in the reverse. It's like they're not able to protect themselves. you're protected. So they can't be aggressive with you. They're reminiscing about how fun it was to hurt you, but we've got fierce in the reverse. So this person, this snake, is not able to hurt you at all. Yeah, because you're protected. Yeah, you're protected. We've got the Two of Pentacles here. So there's balancing decisions being made in the home, which is the planet Earth, or the Garden of Eden, which the biological original transmitter receivers of the divine was supposed to receive heavenly instruction and then manifest it here. And then you got this snake who kind of turned it into a war zone, brothel, slaughterhouse, right? And then just sat back and with his people and had a great time. So yeah, it's over. There's not going to be any third-party enemies here, because they made life very, very difficult for people with their challenges. And, you know, it's time for ease and grace. It's time for ease and grace and recovery. And you can't recover if somebody's constantly opening your wound. You can't recover if somebody's constantly feeding on you. Luck is on your side. Luck is on your side. So there's no third parties because they made life very hard for everybody, and luck is on your side. There could be a water sign who needs to use caution, or maybe you need to be using caution regarding a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. We've got move on. It could be that there's a fire sign who has told them to move on, like they're not available, get out, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. There's some challenges going on here. Maybe there was some challenges that had been spied upon. You discovered something about challenges that these ones were creating in your life, and you just don't want to have anything to do with it. Date night. So they were out there third party and date nighting everybody, filthying your energy, having intimate encounters other than your own, and they were bringing back that energy and every other partner that that person had also slept with. So your energy, it really loses its purity in this type of a situation, and it just becomes dirty, and it falls into lust, and you can't grow anything in that energy. It doesn't grow. It's not vibrant. It's not full of the sun. It's not rejuvenating. It's not self-replicating or replenishing. It just is mess. So somebody is wanting to confess something to you, and we've got patience. So somebody could be telling you in a way, or maybe you're getting the intuitive hit to be patient. Just a few more months. Give it a little bit of time, because everything and everybody who ever did, you wrong or whatever, they're getting their stuff back. Like whatever they did is going back. Whatever they did to manifest something in your life, their intentions or whatever, it's going back. And there's an earth sign that that it will be traveling soon. Or an earth sign that will be traveling soon. They're trying to do a love spell to get a commitment. They're taking a gamble from a distance. They're hoping that they can get this love spell to work on you, survivor, and that they will be able to move into your house. Yep, they're hoping that their love spell can get them to move into your house, and they can get back with you and be intimate once more. Use your intuition. Use your intuition, because this person wants to birth health issues in your life. They probably got some uncurable thing. They want to download their illness into you, their sickness, their death energy, whatever it is. So it could be that you say, no, now's not the right time, because you're getting a new pet and you're making room for the new beginning that it's on its way to you now, and you're letting them go. It's like, no. So anybody trying to do a love spell on you at a distance, they're a liar, narcissist. They're trying to freaking magically work their way into your heart space, and then hopefully plug in and download their karmic debt and all of their sickness while they withdraw every good thing that you have here. Give it a few more months. God's kicking them off the foundation. And they're desperate to get another connection with you. It's premeditated, sneaky brutality that they're trying to embed in your world. They want to take everything from you. And if you are this divine feminine who has dominion over the planet and offering services to people, that these ones have been completely mismanaging, then you should be wary and do not accept any of this. God will make that known when it's time. You know, because the work is being done in the spirit. And, you know, you haven't seen, I don't think, the destruction happen in the 3D yet. And that has to occur. There has to be something like that to occur in order for, you know, what happens in the spirit has to manifest in the 3D, right? And it hasn't happened yet. So be careful. Because they want to take you out. They want you out of here. They do not want you having this opportunity, no matter what. So you got to outsmart them, and that means wait. I mean, if you're like me, I've been celibate since 2010, and I have no intention at all of rushing anything. Not with this going on. Are you kidding? I like my energy. And I like the fact that God actually loves me, even though I suffered for a long time. And thought I wasn't worthy. So we got courage in the reverse. So these ones have been disconnected from your light, and they don't have any light. They're disconnected from your services, and you're not holding back the secrets of how they hurt you. We've got divorce. You're experiencing a breakup. You're letting them go, and they don't have any courage. These masculines, they don't have any courage because they can't manifest anything. All they can do is take it from somebody else and pretend that they did something special when it was an actual brutal act for them to even get that, to make it appear as though they did something. You're in your chariot, you're driving off, you're leaving off. Somebody's expecting you to take a seat and manage this business regarding these third-party enemies who broke every promise that they made and hurt people. They destroyed many people's lives. They got to surrender their need to control. It's so blaringly obvious how irresponsible everything on this planet has been run with the way that life is treated here. And yet they're continuously projecting out to those who have this new contract, this new covenant with God. They're continually projecting out that they're not responsible enough when they just succeeded walking the impossible path. You know, and apparently, whoever this woman is has set 2 new records. She overcame 2 of the snake's records. So she has set 2 new records. She has raised the bar. Not only did the emperor and this being of service graduate through an impossible path, they have also raised the bar regarding these Guinness Book of World Record things. So the strength of 2 together are making sure these playas, whose values are all about money and far different from yours, their cup is going to remain empty. And we've got the honeymoon phase. The honeymoon phase. Well, so we got the honeymoon phase. This card kind of came out in the side. So the player is most likely going to lose their freedom because this is the new phase, the new beginning, and the player is going to be taken out. They can't be staying here. And you've got a new phase going. So you got your freedom from the playa, and the playa is going to lose their freedom. And they're going to have an empty cup because you're not dealing with these entities anymore. Because they broke every promise that they ever made. And they stole from everybody identity and wealth and life. So we've got the Four of Swords here. There's a retreat, a renewal, a planning for the future, a laying to rest. This scenario. We got things in the reverse. So they didn't take your things. They are in disagreement about this. They made life very, very hard for you. You are like the priceless diamond, the biggest one in the whole wide world. You're like the rarest, biggest, most beautiful diamond ever. And they were digging for gold. They were digging for gold. And they made your life very, very hard. You know what? This is what they saw. They saw you. You were like so perfect. And they went mining for diamonds. And they thought if they buried you in the deepest, deepest, deepest hole that they could possibly bury you in, you would never, ever, ever be found. And they have to surrender their need to control. Oh, wait, that's in this third party thing. So, yeah, I lost my card. I'm sorry. So they're losing their freedom, and they don't get to take part in your services. They can no longer drain your energy. The Most High God said this is the end of their relationship with batteries, and that you never have to give it back. Never will you give it back, is what he said. He's going to make certain that this energy never, ever receives your services again. Never will you give it back. He said it, and he didn't say, you know, you might want to change your mind someday, so we'll leave that. No, he said, never will you, meaning that was an order. That was a command from God. He sees what's happened here to the Mother Earth, and to every living thing on it. And he sees what these ones have been doing with that man suit that was made in the image of the Father. This adversity is ending in death. They were bringing adversity to people, diamonds, huge, the most rarest, with the intention of death, and their intentions shall be their gift, is what God said. So we got a Page of Swords here, having restless mental energy. There's the Ouija board here, so he could be hearing, he or she, take it as it resonates, could be hearing spirits. They could be having some kind of a supernatural experience, because that's the work that they've been doing. They were not able to separate you from your destiny, from your union with your soul family, God, Goddess, Mother, Father. They want to communicate. They're not able to escape. They want you to forgive them. They need an out. It could be that they're not able to separate from the Ouija board people, you know, and so now they want to talk to you because they can't get out of it. It's like, how do I fix my head? You know, they might want you to help them because you made it out of the impossible path. You learned how to stabilize and, you know, come back to yourself, and they may need your help. But they called it upon themselves by trying to call it upon you, and God said their intentions shall be their gift. So there's nothing you could do. I would not even go there, because I would not. I mean, to say stuff, you know, on like to, you know, because we got family out there who may be wanting to know stuff too, but you know, it'll be what it'll be. We got guilt in the reverse. They're not able to escape. They want your forgiveness. You weren't guilty. You were innocent. They can't separate you from love. You weren't guilty. You were innocent. So when they sent out this last attack to you, it didn't work. Your hard work on a routine, a responsible, efficient, effective way to defend your destiny. And they're grieving because you're not going to deal with these third-party enemies anymore. You're not guilty. They couldn't make it stick to you. And, you know, I mean, there was an effort, and it failed. Look, because they can't be trusted. They're grieving. It didn't work out the way that they had planned. You're not dealing with them anymore because they cannot be trusted. You have centuries of experience with their true intention, their true authentic selves, transparently shown over a long period of time. It's irrefutable evidence. They can't all of a sudden come up and say, oh, but I didn't mean it. And it's like, oh, no, but you did. See? Because you didn't just choose it this time. You chose it that time and the time before that and the time before that and the time before that. And it was working so successfully. You just kept with it. And you never decided to start adding value to the soul because it was all about the money. And that's all it ever was. A big party, right? You know? To see who could twist somebody's mind up the fastest with their lies. And they took pride in it, watching somebody get confused or bedazzled. So you got this Knight of Cups here. I think this is the curator or somebody that has close ties with the curator. They're trying to make a proposal to the survivors. The Emperor and this lady could be having some of these temptations come in. You survived the reflections, the copycats, and they are at a distance. You've got a liar and a narcissist here. They need to get back into your energy, into your gifts. That's what allowed them success the previous cycle. And they gambled you, they fumbled you, and they lost you. And that means they've lost everything. They lost everything. Nobody can match your energy. Nobody can match your gifts. They lost both of you. And that's just bad. I mean, and then both of you found each other's and you combined your gifts and you're like, no more. That's it. And God's right here backing you. Crazy. I fumbled that one. So we got the curator here. I'm going to call it the curator. You can call it whoever you want. It's somebody who's grieving because you don't trust them and you're not going to deal with them. He's coming in real slick. He needs a new contract with you. He wants to interfere in what you got going on. So, but we got be patient, use caution, because this is a lying narcissist and they're not interested in being of service, and you're not interested in giving them any services. They have been disconnected from your services. You're not offering it to them. So there's that. There's the Knight of Cups wants to come in, make a love offer. You survived, and they're like, oh yeah, you're exactly what I want, you know. But they got a copycat here, right? You survived their copycat who's at a distance. This is a lying narcissist, and you're not going to give them any of your services. Even if you wanted to, God would say you're never giving it back. So they're not going to get it. Even if you were to get tricked somehow, they would not get it because that decision was made by God. He said, you've been too forgiving. It's been thousands of years, and this is ending right now. So you got the Emperor here. He's a respectable leader, and he is he's all about the foundation. He is all about the foundation, and he has learned exactly what caused these things to happen. He has got lots and lots of suns and stars out there who had their very own unique experiences of you know, lots of trauma and challenging circumstances. So he's learned all of the nastiness. Where is it done? Who's doing it? How did they do it? When did they do it? How long has this been going on? What caused it? Is there drugs? Is there, you know, that CRISPR genetic stuff? What happened here? So because I heard him asking months ago, so what caused this to happen? He's been doing research for a long time, and it's so interesting because he doesn't just go ask a few people, you know, what happened, and then, you know, fly off with some judgment and some action. He like does a consensus, and then he waits, and then he verifies the consensus. And then he gives it a little time, and then he takes a look at the foundation, and he sees who the players are, and he kind of, it's like it was a process. It was brilliant the way that he did that. Meticulous. So yeah, it's too late for these ones to take any action regarding this. The Emperor knows all he needs to know, and what they built on other people's light and life force energy, their actual existence, is crumbling. The cycle is ending, and a new one is beginning, and they don't find this very funny. Humor is in the reverse. We've got panic because things are slowing down for this snake, and they're thinking about the past, how fun it was. They're not able to be aggressive because you're protected. Like whatever aggression they're trying to send your way, you are protected from. It's not working. Imagination. Your mind is protected. So these ones are trying to download their mental magic, and you're being protected from it, from their aggressive mental driven. They really want you angry. They really want you to reject your love. They really want you to feel unworthy. This happened, was it Saturday? I was sitting here playing games with my friends, and all of a sudden this negativity started running through me, you know, and I thought, well, I could actually be feeling this way, or it could be mental magic. And so I just sat and watched it for a little while, and then all of a sudden it was like the boogeyman arrived, and this energy was really big and really icky, and it kind of made me kind of icky, you know, it was just icky. It was like the devil wanted to eat my soul right then and there, you know, and I'm like, oh gosh, right? Trying to breathe into the energy. And then all of a sudden it eased, right? And I'm like, well, now I know it was mental magic. Somebody was trying to get me into South Node. They wanted me to feel really terrible about myself, about whoever my spiritual spouse is, about my connection to the Most High God, about my suffering in the history. They wanted to drive me into this kind of an unstable South Node mindset. And then later on in the day, they hit me with that entity or whatever that was. But it didn't stick around for long, because I was vibing too high. Because my mental body is protected. This fierce, aggressive mental stuff that they were trying to send, and they were like, oh yeah, that's going to work. We're going to just go F up her mind. But you're protected. Your mental body is protected. Like apparently mine is also, and that's good. So we've got the Two of Pentacles here. There's a lot of balancing decisions being made. There's a lot of things going on in the home, and that could be the garden, the planet, the community, your house of wood, whatever that is. But I think it's whatever that is, your country, whatever. But we got third-party enemies. They cannot be trusted, and they made life very, very rough and very, very difficult for a lot of people while they were busy breaking their hearts, speaking proper words of love, actually having an intimate encounter, and then just trashing all over their life like they were the worthless piece of shit, you know. And that was their practice. They cannot be trusted, so they're not going to be here on the foundation in this next thing. Luck is on your side. You have grown in consciousness and awareness. You know what's going on here. You know what to look for. You know what to expect. It's no longer like, oh, but I don't, it's not me, you know, but you know. It's been centuries of experiences. It's been centuries of torment and jealousy and envy and hate and forced sexual services by those who are pissed off that they don't have a womb. They hate you. And now they're afraid. Because everything in divine order, these relationships that serve the higher good for everyone are coming here. They're being accepted. And there's a change happening because these ones have failed to throw you into an eternal hell space because you persevered and you are still grateful and thankful even for those traumatizing, tragic times because what? You discovered your inner resilience. You discovered that there's no greater goal than to love, and when the world hates you, you love yourself more. You know that friendships are here to serve a greater good, and you all are limited, abundant beings, and that's why you survived this malarkey. These people are worried because they're receiving nothing but denial. Nobody wants to give them their light. Nobody wants to share their sexual energy with them. Nobody wants to offer their couch for a night stay. They might leave something there, curse something, do something. You know, people actually are, you know, wanting to care for their health now, the physical temple, the body. You know, they want to be disciplined so that they can accomplish whatever it is that they want to do without having to rely on some stupid little trinket or some little opportunity that gives you a little shekel here or there. Somebody is in doubt because the truth is you have the gifts of the soul that benefit yourself and others, and it's all wrapped up and fueled by love. You are your own supply. You don't have to harvest from anybody else in order to be powerful doing anything. You are who you are. It's all you, connected to God. And when you say God is in me, right? God is in me. You're connected. It's like see, I grew up in the woods. Well, I was hidden in the woods, and there was nobody around for 12 miles was nobody around. So it was strange because I would spend day after day after day wandering the forest and climbing the hills and sitting up on a boulder and looking out over the land, or climbing a tree and just swaying in the wind. And during this time, it's like my soul, my spirit, like merged with life. And the waters were living waters. I mean, the county health department said that the waters were so polluted we shouldn't even be bathing in them, you know, because of the fish poop and all of that. But I'll tell you what, it was the sweetest, best water ever. And I drank it for 7 years and I never got sick. I thought they were crazy. But that's living water. So I got to have that too. So I had the living waters inside of me and the wind and everything. And it was just wonderful. And I really did merge my whole entire essence with everything that was there. So there's growth and consciousness and expansion and knowingness, right? And people are worried about that, you know, because they just wanted to mind of you. But the mother, like the mother of the earth, is like, hey, you know, the standing ones, their light will shine. I saw the Lady of the Water. One day I was sitting in front of a waterfall. And her body, she appeared, and it was a big, tall waterfall. And all of a sudden, there was like a woman, a water woman, stepped out of the water, and she was there in this beautiful woman form, and her head was all the way up at the top of this waterfall, and her body went all the way down to the. She was massive, beautiful. So these guys are frightened. They're paranoid. They're paranoid about your love. They're paranoid that you're seen as a high value person. They've lost you. They've lost you. They've lost a marriage with you due to all the copycatting. They've lost access to marriage due to all the copycatting. Due to this atrocious, illusion. They've lost you. You made their life worth living, and now, and it's so amazing to me how they dare to project out this irresponsibility into the world. Well, you're not responsible, you can't handle this, and da. It's like, well, not everybody's working to create illusions everywhere and siphon the system, snake. There's a rule. My father says it's KISS, the rule of KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. But you could say, keep it simple, snake. Keep it simple, sweetheart. Keep it simple. The more simple it is, the less drama. Everybody can understand it very easily. But these people, they don't want easy. They don't want people to understand jack. They don't want people to know that they're out there siphoning off of this corporation or that conglomerate or whatever it is. They don't want people to know that they're casting illusions over their minds, and they don't want that. They don't want simple. The more confusing, the better. But the mother's here, and she is no longer servicing them. They have been disconnected. God said she will never give it back. They're being evicted off of the territory because they have mismanaged and brutalized everything far too long. She's been too forgiving over the centuries, and God is stepping in and saying, no more. That's enough. That's enough. And there's no holding back the secrets. The secrets are all out. She went deeper. She went far deeper than any of her abusers thought, and she found information in these deep places. And this emperor may have been very, very deep, and maybe that's where they met. Maybe they helped each other out of that. I don't know. You take it as it resonates. But both of them were on an impossible path that they were not supposed to get out of, and they had been there for many centuries. So all of those secrets are out, and these little jackwagons are getting divorced out of the light, out of the healer, out of the sun, the star. There's divorce. They don't have any courage. They don't know what they're going to do. They're not getting the reward. They didn't get the reward. Their luck has run out. You're in your chariot. You're moving forward. You have expectation of taking this seat. Somebody is holding this seat open for you. There is unfinished business here, and you have things to resolve and discuss regarding these sexually confused people who made promises and then broke all of those promises while destroying those people they made promises to. They have to surrender and release their need to control them. They destroyed many lives with their many lies. They're not nice at all. Absolutely not. Because you got broken promises here, and then you're not dealing with somebody else here because they're untrustworthy. It's absolutely true. You've got centuries of documentation that proves it without a doubt. They were just here dominating everybody. They got to surrender their need to control you and dominate you. They have to surrender their need to create false contracts and then to F people and then F them over and steal all their stuff and prance around like they're the pretty girl or something. I don't even freaking know what they want to do, but they're not very nice, not to the mother, Not at all. They sure can whine and pretend like they're innocent, though. They're very good at playing a victim. They know what a victim looks like. They've been creating them for centuries. So you are with your lover, the strength of 2. You, the emperor, and your person here are together, at least in the astral, and you're making sure that this player, whose values are lots different than yours, they all only want money. Their cup is going to remain empty. We're in the honeymoon stages of this new cycle, and they're going to lose their freedom. They have to, they're going to lose their freedom. And they're going to go blind. They're going to lose their gifts. Now, this could be what that curator meant when he said that he was stuck in a loop. Now, what we got going on here in this 3D space, we've got many, M-I-N-I, lives and deaths. You know, we're born, we maybe live for 20 to 50, maybe 80 years old or more if we're lucky or not. And then we die, and then we do it again. Over and over and over again, we go through this recycle, this loop. And that, my dear friends, is where the curator is finding himself, and you are exiting that loop. And he's desperate to get reattached to you because you have surpassed his records, his Guinness Book of World Records stuff, and you've taken back what he stole from you. They martyred you, they stole everything deceitfully, and then they spent centuries trying to frame you as a terrorist. The Divine Mother said that they were clever. I know she was being facetious. She says, they're clever. They'll figure it out. Which I thought was cool because I hardly ever hear anybody use the word clever. Now I like that word. It's a good word. So you're laying things to rest. They did not get your things. They're in disagreement, and they feel you should understand how they feel. And it's like, oh, are you kidding me? They made life very, very difficult for the biggest, best diamond ever known to this planet. And they were, burying it as deep as they possibly could because they wanted to keep it for themselves. Well, now their adversity has got them death. They are not able to steal your destiny, your fate. Nope. That's the end of their fate. They could have just shot themselves in the foot. They no longer have a destiny. Now they're stuck in the loop. They're stuck in the loop that you and I are stuck in it. Well, maybe not all of you. Some of you may be in the 5D. I think that maybe this AI system is actually connected to multiple dimensions at the same time. I could be wrong. So the Page of Swords has got some mental stuff going on with this Ouija board, with these spirits. It could be that he's not able to separate himself from them. He doesn't know how to disconnect or purify. I heard one of them ask this curator, why is it stuck to him? And he answered, and he's like, oh my God. So it's like there's something going on. They keep calling up these Ouija board spirits or whatever, and they're not sticking. So they go back to them and then get stuck on them, and now they can't separate from it. So they want forgiveness. They want to communicate. They want to talk about how to do this because they can't escape it. They can't escape it because you weren't guilty of any of the things that they said you were guilty of. And they're losing their freedom. You weren't guilty. They picked on an innocent person. They can't escape because they picked on an innocent person. So they're losing their freedom. It's like in this, this here might be the loop. Say I'm one of those people that was booted out and forced into a loop because I had been deceitfully convicted of something. Well, it's showing here that there was no guilt. It was a persecution of innocence. And I'm sure that, It's you too, collective. Many of you, suns and stars, were set up from the very, very beginning so that they could take your gigantic diamond and keep it in that little hellhole so they could just draw off it and fuel their illusionary magic for those other people that are just sleeping, walking around doing work all day long, you know? Going to clock in and clock out and stuff. So you are very responsibly defending your destiny, and they're grieving because it didn't work out the way they had imagined. They're feeling the loss. You're not dealing with these third-party enemies anymore because they're untrustworthy. You've got lots of evidence proving it. There's a whole big history of where they've been running frequencies through the mental bodies of the people, driving them into some freaking soap opera script, and then deceitfully convicting them of the life that they were being driven into. So that they could imprison them and continue drawing off of them. It was a scam. Identity theft and scam hard, man. Planetary scam. I mean, I can see this at the freaking grocery store, at the bank. But on the planet, this is just sad, man. And these masculines have the audacity to preach to anybody about being responsible. It's so crazy to me. It's so crazy to me. You know, and people who don't have this connection or read cards or have gone through, you know, over 2 decades of consciously aware spiritual battle while having 37 others unconsciously aware, you know, then they're not going to understand. But I think the more that you all understand, the more that I understand, and the more that we share it, the more that the collective field, the knowledge that the collective field will collect about this, and then it will just be made available, I think, to people by their intuitive knowing, maybe. I don't know how it works, but if the knowledge is there and it pops into somebody's head, then isn't that how it works? Without manipulation? I don't know. Shared space. There's evidence here. So there's research and there's evidence that this is a lying narcissist. So they're getting cut out of your services. You're not going to serve them anymore. They tried to exterminate this family. This woman and this masculine are the original. There's not been any, like, they've been in that space for thousands of years, while there's been genetic manipulations happening to the flesh temples of people. So when they came up out of that, like, there had been, like, they were like still original. That's my perception. Please do with it as you see it. The Emperor is here. He's got all of the knowledge that he needs. It's too late for these ones to take any action. Everything that they built on other people's life force, vitality, and energy is crumbling. That one cycle is ending. Another cycle is beginning. They don't think this is funny. They have lost you. They thought of you as an animal. And they didn't realize how important you were to them. And now you got this dude coming in wanting to play freaking doctor with you or something. I don't know. This snake is panicking regarding the slowdown. They're reminiscing about the inside jokes. They're trying to be aggressive mentally. They're trying to push in aggressive thought forms and energy. But you are protected. Your mental body is being protected. It's like God is, or your ancestors, or your new family. You got a whole lot of folks looking out for your mental body. And yeah, so you are protected in the mental body, but we've got fright here. So you're protected from fright, you're protected from paranoia, or maybe you're protected and this snake is feeling paranoid because whatever they sent after you is on them now. Maybe that's what this is all about with this page and the Ouija board and the inability to separate themselves from something. They're confined. They're having paranoia. Yeah. So whatever, your mind is protected. So whatever aggression that they were trying to send your way, whatever fierce or ferocious entity they tried to send your way, you are protected in the head. And these guys are paranoid now because it's on them. They've lost you. They can't get it to stick to you. You're too high vibing. So there's some decisions being made regarding the home, and there's not going to be any third-party whoring or lusting or competition or stealing anybody's wife or husband or molesting their children or their animals or nothing. There's not going to be any of that. They've made life rough enough for everybody, and that's over. Luck is on your side. You have grown in consciousness and awareness. You know what's going on with these traps. You've grown in consciousness and awareness about these traps, about this trap that had been going on for humanity for centuries. You have grown in consciousness and awareness regarding the snake's trap. And you brought all that information up. All these secrets that you're not holding back are getting this snake divorced out of this territory. I heard somebody, and I'm guessing the upper courts or somebody, said that they sabotaged themselves when they decided to program everybody and then drive them into failure and then deceitfully convict them of a crime or of instability or irresponsibility. So it was all a freaking setup, man. This coach, somebody taught people how to magically harvest your vitality, your life force essence, how to magically F up your family tree, make certain that it doesn't survive. But here we are. There's a plan. There's a schedule. There's a promise of a schedule. A schedule has been promised. Somebody promised this network of people that they would gain the fruits of your labor if they could just mess with your mind. But now they want to apologize to your alliances who are honest, trustworthy, and true, dedicated, and devoted. They want to apologize to them about disturbing you, about bringing supernatural experiences your way, about trying to destroy your mind and your life. But you have lived and learned. This was training, some kind of a development, this experience of their strategy of mind reading people and mind effing people and driving things into people's minds in order to trap them, in order to make them appear a certain way so that they could be trapped and then continue to be harvested off of. And so now these ones who were overindulging on the energy of light-bearing beings for centuries are furious because they're getting separated. They're a third wheel enemy, and it's very, very clear what their agenda is. You have reached your goals. You reached your goals. You are king and queen of that mountain, and you are going to get eternal love, and you may even be sharing love eternally with everybody. You know, your family is going to be peaceful on the inside, and your community is going to be calm. It's going to be lovely. For the children, they can go out and ride their bikes until nighttime, and nobody is ever going to come and hurt them, and they're never going to get lost, and no big bad animal is going to come and eat them as a snack. It's just going to be great. It's going to be lovely. You've reached your goals. You persevered through this challenge, and now you get to move forward, and you don't have to be servicing these people anymore. They don't have to, they're not going to feed on you. God said this is the end of their relationship with batteries, and you, sun and star, were the battery, the child and son of the Most High, and now it's over because this narcissist is a liar. There's so much evidence of what they have been doing here. They cannot get out of it. These prideful people are being cast away. They're being outcast. They're going into a loop. They're going to get trapped in the loop, the cycle of life and death, just like you went through. They considered it an impossible path, one that you would never, ever escape. But now you went through the impossible path. one that they thought was impossible. Now they have to get through it. And not only that, you have beat two of the highest records ever recorded or something of this snake. You've overcome both of them, two of them, which means, well, there could be more, but last I heard it was two. That means they have to do exactly, they have to overcome what you did to qualify. So yeah, these ones are being cast away because they were bringing danger to the home, to the real estate, to the home, to the flesh temple that houses the soul and the spirit, to the house of wood, to the businesses of gifts. You're getting mercy because they were stealing from you. And you kept turning the damn cheek. Now they're overloaded and freaking out. They're overwhelmed and they need you to save them. And they're protesting over this miracle that God has given you. You know? They're disappointed that you are cared for and that you care. You're the blessing that they cursed. They cursed you. They cursed their own blessing. They cursed their own blessing and they lost it. God took it away because they were making it sick and diseased and they were fighting with it. And them and all their buddies were collaborating on how to hurt you the best. And that is being stopped. They wanted to stop this sweetheart, and God is bringing a stop to that for this sweetheart, these sweethearts. You know what? Because they've got a new contract, a new covenant. You can't separate them from that. It's their turn for inner peace, and they're getting ready. Somebody better get ready for justice, because it's coming. It's coming. But these two are going to have sweet dreams, while the others are going through withdrawals and major mental stress, because that's what they planted in the world. These mask wearers, those who were mimicking you and trying to mess up your life and frame you to being the worst person ever alive, yeah, they're going to have to go survive some natural disasters, because those beings with the white halo and the powerful golden energy, they're coming together in this marriage. Oh, imagine the child that's going to come from that union. These ones are in a nightmare because you're stable and you're okay. And it could be that you remained stable during this nightmare that they were given to you. You know, these people who accepted bribes to hurt you, but you remained stable through that chaos, through that nightmare. So you triumphed over it and you've earned a lot of merit. So, you know, whatever God saw you as prior, you have increased in value since then, obviously. And these people want to compromise now because it's over and there could be death, like literal death. So I think that this clarifies pretty well what the message is trying to convey. I hope that this brings clarity to you about something that perhaps you already knew. And I will see you on the next one, everybody. Bye.